basically about vitamin D, vitamin D3. So I want to talk to y'all about vitamin D3. I want to talk to y'all about calcium, about sex hormones, about all of that, because all of these things are controlled by your vitamin D3. So y'all be surprised. Y'all gonna be surprised with actually how to convert vitamin D3. Everybody think you get it from foods. Everybody think you get it from orange juice, which is total bullshit. You do not get vitamin D3 or vitamin D from no orange juice. So y'all climb on in and we're gonna talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Anybody that got problems with iron, anybody got problems with calcium, anybody that got problems with any of these things, it's all connected to vitamin D. So y'all climb on in and we're going to talk about it. Shalom, shalom, peace, love, light, and healing family for all those that's climbing in. Peace to the gods, peace to the earth. So let's talk about it. So look, the only way for real that you can really get the right amount of vitamin D is by being in the sun. That's the only way. That's the only way, especially when it comes to so-called black men and black women. We need at least 2 hours of sunlight a day, minimum. At least 2 hours. And the reason why is that it's because you actually need the sun to convert your cholesterol, your LDC cholesterol or your LDL cholesterol into vitamin D. It goes through something literally called vitamin D synthesis. You get that from the sun. The sun literally penetrates your melanin and your skin, and then what this do is synthesize the cholesterol. That cholesterol then synthesize and go into the liver, then it hit the kidneys, and from there you start producing something called vitamin D and vitamin D3 through the blood. The blood then take this lipid-based oil or water soluble, whatever we want to call it, and then it distribute it to all the places it needs to go. You do not get it from eating food. You most definitely don't get it from eating no daily mucus forming animal products, and you do not get it from oranges. You will have a better chance getting vitamin D3 from the skin peeling of the orange than the actual meat or flesh of the orange. You see that? Because we got to remember what vitamin D it is. It's nothing but a conversion of a lipid. What is a lipid? A lipid is like a water oil base that comes from your cholesterol. So everybody want to, they got this big old cholesterol myth like cholesterol is bad, and it's not. Cholesterol is part of the mucous membrane. Cholesterol is actually part of your lymphatic system. Cholesterol is a defense. Now, if it start producing too much, that means you got a lot of acids inside of your body. So what the cholesterol is going to do is going to synthesize and bring calcium in. It's going to turn the liver functioning on, and it's going to get the kidneys kicking. So now your body starts pulling all the calcium from the bones, because calcium is one of the most electrical minerals you have other than iron phosphate. Iron phosphate is one of the number one electrical magnetic minerals that you have, but calcium is the most electrical mineral that you have. So whenever you dealing with acid foods and you're constantly eating acids all day, you're eating uric acid, which is your meat, you're eating carbonic acids, which is all your grains and things like that, you're eating phytic acid, which is complex nitrogen beans, things that your body cannot break down, then it sits inside of your body and it literally corrodes and it chews and it eats at your cells. It's very gnarly, and it's on the acidic side of chemistry. So what the body does is the body will raise its cholesterol levels to start converting and synthesizing calcium, and it'll start pulling calcium from the matrix, from the bone matrix, or what we call the calcium matrix. Now, what controls the calcium matrix, whether you need to build up more calcium in the blood to calm down the acids, or you need to calm down the calcium in the blood for you can build up more acids, because the body must maintain a balance. The blood must maintain a balance at a 7.4 on the potential hydrogen scale. They call this the body of being in a state of homeostasis. So you're going through this teeter-totter all throughout your day. Your blood is constantly rechecking itself to make sure that it's remaining alkaline. It can't even do that without calcium. Calcium is very, very important. Vitamin D3 is very, very important. And all of this is based off of your cholesterol levels. So the only way to even get cholesterol to even convert and synthesize to vitamin D is by way of ultraviolet rays that come from the sun. Y'all got to remember, black god and black goddesses, we are children of the sun. That's where we come from. We are full of light cold frequencies. We are full of melanin, which is full of carbon. Without these carbons and without these sugars and without these cholesterols, it'd be impossible to even synthesize calcium or to even synthesize your vitamin D. You do not get it from animals. You do not get it from milk, and you damn sure don't get it from no oranges, y'all. So we gotta get out of this whole thing that the FDA and that the food control industries done set up for us. They did all of this to monetize our money and get us to spend money with them. You know, we actually think we be eating things that are healthy for us and that are giving us vitamin D3 and vitamin D12 and all of that, and we not. You get that from the sun, and the sun is for free. I don't gotta pay no damn body to come sit outside and take my shoes off and take my shirt off and deal with the sun and literally get my light cold particles, or what I'm gonna call melanin, or what we call melatonin and serotonin, charged up. See that? You don't have to pay a bill on for that. Yahweh turn the lights on every morning at the same time. The lights rise on the east, then the light sets off on the west. We don't gotta pay nobody for that. So they had to figure out an evil plot and an evil plan to get us to think that we can take vitamins, which I don't even believe in the word vitamins. It really come from vital mineral. These are conversions that converts and moves minerals by way of the adrenal glands, and it's vital to the body. So you need cholesterol, because without cholesterol, half of your minerals you can't even be utilized, because what you think happens when it gets into the bloodstreams, what are utilizing these minerals? Your adrenal glands is by way of cholesterol. Cholesterol is a good thing, y'all. Quit letting them think that cholesterol is bad. As soon as your cholesterol levels raise up, they trying to tell you to do this and do that. They want to give you medicine. You need cholesterol. Without cholesterol, you wouldn't even produce sex hormones. Do y'all realize that testosterone is a conversion of cholesterol by way of the sun? That's how important the sun is. The sun is a living entity. The sun is full of information. The sun is full of sulfur. The sun is full of all types of minerals. The sun is a living intelligence. The sun feeds you light cold frequencies. How you think that I be getting these downloads? That's by way of the sun. The sun is feeding me years and thousands of years and thousands of years of information. And these things are breaking down into my DNA, and then I'm able to speak from my DNA and relate or articulate what the sun just gave me. The sun is a living being. It's a living entity. We have to be outside, family. And then you wonder why a lot of us have a whole lot of depressions and emotional roller coasters going on, because your emotions is dictated by the sun as well. This is documented, well-known fact. People that's in Antarctica, they actually did what you would call it. They did like an analysis on these people, right? And you know it stayed dark out there for like 6 months, and then it stayed light for 6 months. It's either Antarctica or Alaska. I don't remember. Don't quote me on a certain place, but this document do exist. And what they noticed, that when the people was out and it was dark for 6 months at a time, the murder rate and the suicidal rate rise. The murder rate and the suicidal rate rise. Robberies rise. Everything that happened rise that was negative, because the sun was not out. But during the time when the sun was out 6 months of the year, guess what? People were reproducing, repopulating. People were making more babies. People were getting jobs and making more money. They was building more monument structures and things like that, showing you that the sun plays a direct role when it comes to your intelligence. The sun plays a direct role when it comes to your emotion. And the reason why is because the sun is directly connected to calcium, and is directly connected to your melanin, and is directly connected to your cholesterol. And you need all these things to produce parathyroid and parathyroxine, which is from your thyroid and your parathyroid glands. And your parathyroid glands is in control of damn near everything in your body. This is the gear shift of your body. Notice every time we see somebody that's depressed, the first thing we check is their calcium levels, their vitamin D, and their parathyroid. Usually they got Hashimoto's. Usually their thyroids are underactive or overactive, but it's directly connected to that. Now, why am I speaking on that? Because the government of the parathyroid and the thyroid is the pituitary gland. Well, guess what the pituitary gland is connected to? The limbic system, or what you would call the hypothalamus gland. The hypothalamus gland is what deals with all of your chemicals that you perceive in your reality. You see that? Neuroepinephrine, that's what gives you energy. You see that? By way of ATP, you have something called oxytocin. This is a chemical that makes you bind with things. This is called the love hormone. You have epinephrine. This is what you produce in fight or flight. It makes you very serious, and it's connected to serotonin. Serotonin, serious. Serious. Melatonin makes you mellow, makes you cool. That's where you get melatonin from. It mellows you out. This be produced when you're going to sleep. You see that? Adrenaline. This is what kicks in your fight or flight. This is how you run. Look, this is why these elites and these reptilian beings are kidnapping us and actually taking out our livers and taking out our kidneys and our adrenals so they can get adrenochrome. All these emotions and everything that you perceive as your reality is by way of chemicals that actually fire off through dendrites and neutrons inside of your brain, all three of your brains, whether we're talking about the central nervous system, whether we're talking about the heart mechanism, or whether we're talking about the intrinsic nervous system, which is in your gut. The way you feel and your emotions emits energy energy in motions. Energy in motions is all based off of the chemicals that you produce by way of cholesterol and by way of the sun. The sun is very, very important. Look, anytime that, and look, notice how they set up these different structures. They want you working in a building all day, working in damn cubicles and concrete buildings and concrete jungles where there's no windows at. You only get 30 minutes to go outside and sit in the sun. You working 8 hours a day, and some of y'all working overtime to pay bills. So a lot of us can't never even go sit out in the sun and enjoy Yahweh's creation and enjoy nature. And you have to be connected with nature, black man, black woman, because you are nature. You see that? The plants need you. You breathe out carbon dioxide. The plants breathe in carbon dioxide and breathes out oxygen and sulfur. The sun breathes in sulfur and then convert it and breathe out sulfate. You then breathe back in this sulfate and oxygen and breathe out carbon dioxide. You are connected to everything in nature. You are nature. You are nature. The only thing different between you and the plant is your blood. You have magnesium and iron phosphate in your blood, and the plants in the botanical kingdom have they have chlorophyll in their blood, or what they call chloroplasts, which is still convergence of neural melanin transmitters. You are an electrical being, y'all. So you need vitamin D, and you're not finna get it from most of these foods, and you damn sure not finna get it from no orange juice. You gonna get that from nature. You gonna get that from sitting outside and sitting in that sun at least 2 hours a day. And then what happens is them ultraviolet sun rays connects and it penetrates that skin and it converts and synthesizes that cholesterol. That cholesterol then converts into vitamin D3, and then after that your liver enzymes start kicking in and it pushes to the kidneys. This start bringing in your calcium, and then your calcium gets distributed through the blood by way of the thyroid and the parathyroid, which is producing parathyroxine and parathyrohormone. This is how it communicates with the bone matrix and the calcium to pull this calcium. Now all things that happen from that, the body start alkalining and keeping the blood alkaline. Now you getting all types of melanin neurotransmitters that is shooting off between your whole body, connecting your whole body, and this is what produces your hormones by way of your endocrine system. And that's what makes you happy, that's what makes you sad, that's what makes you horny, that's what makes you want to abstain from sex. I mean, all of that is produced by nature. You are one with your environment. You cannot show me the environment where the mind is not connected to. The mind is interwoven with its environment. If you change the environment, you change the mindset. Notice that most people that grow up in the hood, I grew up in the hood. Once I moved out of the hood, I started looking at life differently. Once I started traveling, I started seeing and perceiving life differently because my mind started changing, because my environment started changing. We have to start getting out in the environment that was created for us, and that is nature. Black man, black woman, get your ass outside, get in front of that sun, take off your shoes, wiggle your toes in this grass, make sure that you breathing in all that ruach, that prana, whatever, that neshama, whatever we want to call it. Make sure you stretching, drink you some water, and sun gaze. Sun gaze, start activating that pineal gland, start activating that third eye. We need it. Look, we are one with our creation. How's we not one with the creation when we come from it? Huh? Yes, epigenetics. That's right, epigenetics. That's by Dr. Bruce Lipton. That's one of my favorite doctors. Dr. Bruce Lipton speak about epigenetics all the time. You know what I'm saying? The environment controls your so-called protein. Without the environment, your proteins, or what I'm gonna call simple amino acid structures, couldn't even move, because you need a signal, and that signal comes from the environment. We want to be in a house all day, or we want to be in a dark ass club, clubbing it, drinking alcohol, shaking our ass, and doing all types of other things. And we need to live, and the only way to live is to get closest to creation as possible. And there is nothing more closest in creation than you being outside in the grass, in the tree, you know what I'm saying, and communicating with the sun, which is the creator of all things. Whether we talking about Son of God S-U-N or Son of God S-O-N, either or. Look, they both will work for me. You see that? So again, and look, talking about the cholesterol, y'all, the deep thing about that is without cholesterol, you cannot create testosterone. You see that? Testosterone comes from cholesterol. The moment zinc and selenium start being produced in this testosterone, and this cholesterol, and it goes down and it sits in the gonads, notice the conversion is synthesized to testosterone. Testosterone is what creates sperms. So you can't even have sperm without testosterone, and you can't have testosterone without cholesterol, and you can't have cholesterol without vitamin D. It's all connected. We are a holistic people. We are organic family. We are carbon organic family. We come from the cosmic realm, y'all. Everything is holistic. Everything is together. You cannot separate chemistry. You cannot isolate chemistry. You are the whole thing because you are God. Y'all understand that? You are God. So act like one. Act like one. And then it said, no, they say we are made of 102 minerals, but we not. We made of way more minerals than that. The thing is, the minerals that we are made of that are more than 102 minerals, the scientists ain't figured out what the hell it was, so they ain't listed it. But we are actually made more than 102 minerals. We come from the heavens. We are prokaryotic cells. We single cell organisms that evolve and gain organelles on the way. So we made way more than 102. It's just that 102 is the ones that they can balance, the ones that they can measure. Y'all have to remember, if the European can't measure it, he won't even write it in history, because he don't never want to seem like he's dumb or like he's inadequate, like he don't know nothing. So the moment that he can't measure it, he don't want to talk about it at all. But we made with way more than 102 minerals, way more. Y'all got any questions? If y'all got any questions, let me know. What do you use as toothpaste? I use my own toothpaste. I use my tooth gum and restoration. The main ingredients in it is myrrh gum, white oak bark, prickly pear, cinnamon, and bloodroot. So that's what I use. I use my own. Toothpaste. I make my own. I sell it on my website, which is www.yahkiawaken.com. We use all our own products, our own hair products, on toothpaste, on deodorant, on soaps, on everything. You know what I'm saying? Everything I use, it comes from up out of our production area. What do you wash your clothes with? We usually wash our clothes with baking soda carbonate and stuff like that. I don't like to use chemical clothes with. We usually use baking soda, and we use myrrh and stuff like that as well for that. It says, shalom, brother. Anything dealing with schizophrenia, the mucus off your brain, you will get rid of schizophrenia. That's nothing but mucus built up on your brain, particularly the cerebellum. You just got to cleanse the brains of all the obstructions of all the acids. You have something in the brain called the glymphatic system, not the lymphatic system, but the glymphatic system. If you can drain that brain, the schizophrenia will leave. But you first have to cleanse the transverse colon. The transverse colon is full of dead, rotten meat, animal flesh, uric acid, carbonic acid, phytic acid, lactic acid. You got to get all the acids up out of there, because that's where all your lymph nodes at. Once you drain the transverse colon and the sigmoid colon and the ascending and descending colon, then your brain will be able to drain, and then you will get rid of that. You'll be able to get rid of that. Yes, it's called the glymphatic system. You know what I'm saying? It says, what hours do you think is best for sun gazing? My eyes are strong enough now, and I can sun gaze at high noon and it won't hurt me. But make sure you start when the sun is first rising. That way it's not so penetrative. You know what I'm saying? Because you can go blind if you stare at it too long when it's the highest in the sky. Like, I can look at it now and I'll be cool because I've been sun gazing for many years. But, you know, if you first starting out, I most definitely wouldn't do it like that. But you need that sun, y'all. It's crucial. It's very, very crucial that we are out here. Very, very crucial. All right. Let's see. Peace, love, light. Why are the bottom of our heels and soles are white? Because it don't get look, that's a good question. I like that. But notice, it don't get into contact with the sun. It's the most thing that don't have no oxygen on it, because you got it in socks and in shoes all day, which you shouldn't be wearing socks and shoes all day. And it don't have contact with the sun to be able to produce the certain amount of pigments that you need. And notice these things are made from a different type of cell or skin, or what we're going to call epithelial cells, and they got grips on them. So not only is it a different texture, it don't see the sun a lot. So of course, naturally, it's going to be less in melanin, which means it's going to have a different type of pigmentation. That's all. What else we got? It says, what do you know about these plants and the second literal sun coming in? Yes, you know about the two suns. There most definitely is two suns. All right, I see you. With downloading them light code frequencies, cooking lessons. My wife's supposed to be they've been recording cooking lessons. We just ain't put them up yet. The government ended up hacking my website and they took down Yahki TV. So we rebuilding it now. Once it get rebuilt back up, we'll put the cooking lessons on there, y'all. All right. It says to absorb electromagnetic energy from the earth. That's why they make your shoes so rubber. That's right. Yes, and that actually stops the connection. That's why we have to ground. You have to earth. You have to earth. Nebaru, the planet of Nebaru. That's where the Anunnaki from. Hebrew Israelite, 2 sons. Yes, there is 2 sons, y'all. There is 2 sons. Blesses my brother. Peace, God. What do we got? It says, how can you build muscle mass off of eating plant-based? That's, look, Dare, I think your name is Dare A Mar 1. You got to ask the gorilla the same thing. You got to ask the gorilla that. You got to ask the horse that. You got to ask the zebra that. You got to ask all of them that. You got to, what you have to do is look at things. If you look at, there's a such thing as plant protein, or what I'm going to call plant amino acid structures. That's how you build muscle. The thing is, most of us have been eating this deadly ass meat all of our lives, so it have totally obstructed our colon and our absorption. When you're dealing with healing, you're dealing with 4 key elements to healing. You're dealing with digestion, you're dealing with absorption, you're dealing with utilization, and you're dealing with elimination. You can't really start building muscle mass until you fully cleanse your body out of all the instructions. Once you cleanse your body out of all the instructions, then your cells can start responding and rebuilding. Same thing when it comes to fats. So everybody be like, well, what about fats? Well, fats is nothing but storization or a storeroom of sugars. So where fat is stashed up at? These sugars are stashed up in the liver. And then glycogen is released to give you ATP and give you energy when your body is not eating anything else. It starts to use the stored up fat. Guess where you can get these fats from? You don't need a damn animal to get the fats. You can get these fats from your what? Your avocados, full of oils and fats. Your Brazilian nuts, full of oils and fats. Your alfalfa sprouts, full of oils and fats. And we can go on and so forth. You do not need animal meat to get energy. You do not need animal meat to get muscles. You do not need, to be honest with y'all, guess what I do? We heal athletes and stuff like that. Most of the professional athletes that we are in working with, they are not on the meat diet. And we talking about football players, we talking about basketball players and everything. We got them on all fruits and vegetable diets. Some are raw, some are just alkaline cooked. And guess what? They are operating and performing better than the Negroes that's in the league that's eating the meat. It's even a documentary on Netflix that shows y'all that how most boxers and things, they're turning vegan because they're getting more energy, and they're getting, in their calisthenics, they're getting more muscular without all of the heavy weight. Do y'all realize muscle building is a bad thing? Look, working out produces lactic acid. If you look at us on the hieroglyphs in Egypt, and if you look at us on the Canary forms and look at us in the scrolls, we weren't working out. That's a European Greek thing. We did calisthenics. We lift our own body weight. We worked in the fields. We did things like that. Our daily work, we worked out. And then we had brilliant, good diets, and that's what built our muscles. You do not need meat to eat, to build muscle, nor do you need to lift weights to lift muscle. Look, a bodybuilder is more unhealthier than a fat guy, because he still got excessive weight on his body that's not supposed to be there. You know how many bodybuilders come to me because their kidneys are failing and have heart failure? Do y'all know how many bodybuilders that I work with monthly? Kidneys failing on these damn keto diets, killing themselves, and got all this muscle. You 5'8", and you 250 pounds solid muscle. That is stress. That stresses the body the fuck out. That stresses the body out. You walking around here heavy as hell. You might as well be a fat guy. You might as well be a fat guy. You see what I'm saying? So I hope I was able to answer that for you. But if you need to build some muscle, if you really want to build some muscle, y'all, look, your avocados, that'll put a lot of fats on you. Your Brazilian nuts, in any of your nut fats on you. It's a whole lot of bitches starts to starve, and they're not gaining weight. Guess what they give horses? So if you truly trying to build some muscle, get some horsetail and get some alfalfa. That'll build you up as well. You know what I'm saying? You got spirulina. You got a whole lot of different things that you can actually take that'll build your muscle that's not from an animal. That's all I'm saying. How can you grow your hair back? Your hair is attached to your nervous system. If you're getting bald-headed and you can't grow hair, that means you got a damaged nervous system. Your hair is an extension of your nervous system. So you have to address the acids that is chewing up your nervous system inside of your cranial. Notice if you go to a leukemia ward, what's going on with them? All them 2-year-old babies is bald-headed. The reason why they bald-headed is because the chemotherapy. The chemotherapy is acidic and it burnt their hair off. So the same thing that's happening to you. Instead of it's chemotherapy, these are acids acids that you're accumulating through the foods that you're eating, and it's acting as chemotherapy, and now you're losing your hair because it's killing and it's damaging your nervous system. You see that? How to detox from acids? Simply stop eating acid forming foods. Stop eating acid forming foods. Simply. All right. So look, with that being said, I'm gonna get up. I gotta get up out of here. I need to pray. I need to ground out, meditate, do some breathing exercise. I just wanted to jump on here and holler at y'all for a minute. But I'm gonna leave off with this though. In order for you to get vitamin D, it can only be converted and synthesized by cholesterol, and that is by the ultraviolet sun rays from the sun, not from no foods. So if you're low in vitamin D, if you're depressed, if you're gaining weight and you can't lose weight, if you're not happy, you can't find your purpose, look, sit your ass outside in that sun. Stop eating all of that flesh-killing meat that you've been eating. Get off the dairy products. Eat you some fruits and vegetables. Increase your H3O2 intake, which is fresh juice water, right? Or get you some coconuts. And if you can't get that, then get you some good spring water, which is alkaline. Drink that. Stop drinking alcohol. Stop smoking and put down the animal's flesh. And be in the sun at least 2 hours a day. When I tell you that will change your life, that will change your life. Peace, love, light, and healing. Love y'all indeed in the truth. Peace to the gods. Peace to the earth. Shalom, shalom.